You're what? You
Yeah,
were,
I was sort of, like,
what was really sore?
just like all the.
Yeah.
It was good.
I like it. I like it. Okay.
We're gonna see how that works. It's right down at floor level. I don't know how else to do it. Okay, guys, so, yeah, I finally go. Work. We have weights and squishy balls. Yeah. Go, guys. Okay, so we're gonna start weights by our side. Squishy ball is gonna go under your feet. So just like so. Find your neutral. Does anybody want those fans on? Or would you like one? A buzzy. Okay. So feet on top of your ball. Find that neutral. Upper body's nice and quiet. So have your palms facing up. Head is heavy. Neck is nice and long. Back of your shoulder or your shoulder blades are heavy against mat. Collarbones wide. Back of your rib cage heavy. You've got that little space behind your low back, right? Pelvis is neutral. Squeeze those inner thighs together a little bit, and then just start with your feet being heavy on the ball, so just really nice and relaxed. Your feet can be pressing into the ball a little bit. And then let's start thinking about our ribs kind of tightening up around our center, your belly button pulling into your spine, and then let your feet just be a little bit light on the ball. They definitely don't need to lift. Just let that ball kind of puff up under your feet. And then nice and slow, let your feet be heavy. So do that again. Let's think of taking a nice big breath. Inhale as you let your feet be light. And then exhale, keep working as you let your feet be heavy again. So do that again. Inhale up. Deepen, exhale. And if you feel your back, when you're lifting your feet, try and reverse the breath. You can exhale to lift, and then inhale as you lower. Inhaling when you lift is a little harder, but up to you. Control, and down, and then go one more. So lifting that little bit, and then stay lifted. So your feet are light on the ball, just roll the ball away a few inches. And then come back in the same couple of inches. So your legs move the ball away, your ribs are staying tight around your center, and then come right back. Go for 3 like that. And in. Last 2, keep your feet that little bit light. Abs working the whole time. And then go one more, roll that ball away slightly, bring it back in, stay right there, let your feet be heavy, and then bring your hands behind your head. So inhale, nod your chin that little bit, and then exhale, come up to flexion. So now you're looking down towards those thighs. Keep your tailbone heavy. Think of your sitting bones being wide, your ribs, remember your lowest couple of ribs are nice and tight towards your hip bones. Hold there, and then slowly come back down. So working all the way. You're still working, you're still working, you're still working until the back of your head touches. And then do that again. So tuck your chin that little bit, curling forward, look towards those thighs, nice deep breath at the top, and then slowly melt all the way back. Take a breath. Let's do it again. So 2 more like that. Feeling the work as you come up. Slowly keep working all the way down. One more, we're gonna stay up this time, so tuck your chin that little bit, curl forward, and hold right there. Now let's let our feet be a little bit light. Stay there. You're ready, you're gonna roll the ball away as far as you can keep your feet light and keep your neutral. Pull the ball back in, bring your upper body up an extra little inch. Now you can lower your upper body slightly, legs away. Exhale. Go for 4 like this. Lengthening back. You're working, you're working, you're working, you're working, and you're working all the way up. 3. Slow and controlled. Lengthen back. Slow and controlled. Keeping that neutral. Last 2. In. Last 1. Inhaling back. Exhale, curl up. Holding there, let your feet be heavy. Let your upper body come all the way down and take a breath. All right, grab that ball, pop it off to the side. Feet with or heels kind of within the fingertip range there, about hip distance apart. We're gonna do a little hip roll up. So remember, you start your hip roll by pressing your lumbar spine down, kind of pulling your pubic bone back towards your belly button, and then start rolling all the way. So 1 vertebra at a time, all the way up until you are in that nice lift. Holding here, thinking about your knees, reaching away from the top of your head. Keep that reach as you roll down. So instead of just letting everything collapse, you're still reaching, right? Reach those knees, rolling all the way. Come down to neutral, take a breath. And then let's do that again. So belly button in that a little bit, press through your heels, lift those hips. Holding when you're up there, feel that your glutes are working to keep you lifted here. So extra pressure through your heels. Roll all the way down. Nice and controlled, you'll come to neutral. This time let's grab our weights, reach those arms up to the ceiling, shoulder blades stay flat against the mat. Let's roll up against the belly button to your spine, rolling, lifting, holding when you're up there, reach those arms overhead, and then roll down. Keep those arms reaching as you come all the way down, and then arms come back to the ceiling. So we'll do that again. Belly button to spine, press through your heels, lift those hips, staying up there, arms reach overhead, and then articulate back down, rolling, keep your arms reaching. So now fingertips are reaching away from knees. That just extends the lever, reach those arms back up. 2 more like that, belly button in, press. If you feel your back with the weights, just drop the weights, that's okay. It's a much longer lever to get all the way down with those arms overhead. And then 1 more, belly button in, press, lift those hips up. Holding at the top there, just arms overhead, and then arms back up. And then go arms wide to the side, and then arms back. Arms overhead, reach. Constant pressure into your heels to keep those hips nice and lifted. And press, reach, and up, and reach. Press up. Now let's add some hip stuff. So your hips are gonna drop, your arms reach overhead. And then you're gonna press back up. And then hips drop, arms reach, and press back up. So your hips drop, your ribs come down with you, right? Don't leave those ribs lifted. Reach, and press. 1 more each way, reaching long, and up. 1 more here, nice and wide. Press all the way up, and then roll down. Slow and controlled, right through to neutral. And then bring your arms down by your sides. All right, pop those weights down. Let's lift up our heels, so we're just on our toes. Find that neutral again, the back of your ribcage is staying pretty heavy. You don't want to be pressing your low back down unless you start to feel your back. If you start to feel your back, definitely you can let your low back get a little bit closer to the mat, all right? If you don't feel your low back, though, try and keep it a little lifted, right? Palms face up, so your upper body is going to be nice and quiet. We're going to lift our right leg to tabletop, so knee directly above your hip. And then do the same thing with your left. Knee above your hip. All right, now squeeze your legs right together. They're gonna move as 1 piece. You're gonna move your knees 2 inches away from you, and then pull them back in, and then do that again. 2 inches away, and then bring them back in. So feel how when your legs move away, your back wants to arch a little bit. You do not want to let that happen. Keep those abs deepening. Watch that your chin isn't starting to reach up to the ceiling. Keep your chin pulling into your chest that little bit. Ribs are tight around your center. You've got 3 more here. and in, go for 2, little reach. And in, and then go 1 more, reach away that little bit, bring your knees back so they're right on top of your hips and stay. Now pop your hands on your thighs. Stay there. Now pull your thighs in towards your chest, but press into your hands so you have to work against your arms and then release back out. So arms are staying strong as your thighs pull in. Feel how your abs are working, pulling those thighs towards you, and release. You've got 4. Arms are strong. And 3. Pull in that little bit. You got it, guys. 2, you're not really moving at all, right? Your arms are staying strong. Last one. Lower your right foot down. Lower your left. And then lower those feet all the way. Good job, guys. Okay, now reach your legs straight out in front of you. Nice long line, reaching toes away from the top of your head. You're gonna reach your arms right up to the ceiling. We're gonna go through a couple little roll-ups here. So arms back overhead. When you're back there, take a breath. Just notice if your ribs lifted, if your back is arching. We don't want either of those things to happen. We want to keep our ribs hugging around our center. As you come up, start with your arms. Your arms come up towards the ceiling, then you'll tuck in your chin. You're gonna curl forward, reach all the way out to those toes. Stack up tall, take a breath, and then go right back. So belly button to spine, rolling back. Slow and controlled, shoulders stay away from your ears as you come all the way down. Reach those arms back overhead, and then do that again. So tucking your chin, curling, reaching all the way. Stack up nice and tall, and then come back again, rolling shoulders down all the way. And reach. Now let's add a leg to that if you want. You can keep both legs down. If you want to add a leg, as you come up, as your mid back comes up, lift your right leg up to a tabletop. So now you'll just come into a half roll back. So you're rounding through those low abs. As you come back, as your mid back touches on the way down, you'll reach your right leg, arms overhead. Same thing left. So keeping your weight even on your hips is important. Tuck that chin. Curling, left leg floats up. You're in that little bit of a scoop. Holding there as you melt back, you can keep your weight even on your hips, rolling all the way, reach that lefty back, and all the way. Let's go right again, tucking your chin that little bit. Right up, take a breath, keep that little scoop, even weight to both sides of your body as you roll, roll, reach, and extend, and then left. Tuck that chin. Keep your right leg reaching, take a little breath. Good job, guys. Slow and control, keep rolling all the way. Reach those arms. You ready? You want to do both legs? Let's try it. Arms up, tuck your chin. Float both legs up to that nice little teaser. Holding when you're there, take a breath. Slowly roll down. 1 vertebra at a time. Reach those legs, reach those arms. Take a nice deep breath. You're ready? We're going to do 1 more. We're going to stay up this time. Tuck your chin. Holding there, take a nice little breath if you with your arms. Keep that little scoop, arms in, arms out. And keep rounding for 3. And keep rounding for 2. And keep rounding for 1. And then come all the way up. Both those legs down. Okay, now grab your weights. So feet about a distance apart. Reach your arms straight forward, shoulders away from your ears. All right, so you're gonna scoop back, so rolling back that same way. So that's that same little, through those low abs, ribs are still tight around your center. And then from there, we're gonna try to keep our weight as even as we can on our hips. So just right arm out, and then bring it back in, and then just your left. And so what wants to happen is this kind of a thing, right? So check yourself out in the mirror. Make sure you're keeping your weight totally even from right to left in your body. Pause, and in, and pause, back in. Now let's alternate. So 1 arm up, 1 arm to the side. Take a breath. Waistlines stay long. Bring them in, and then switch. And down. Let's do that again. Exhale. Keeping those abs working the whole time. One more here. Back in, and then use those abs, come back to seated nice and tall. Okay. Now pop those weights down to the side. We're taking onto our side. So we're gonna lie on our left elbow. If your shoulder, if you have any kind of shoulder issue or elbow issue, you could lie the whole way down. If not, try this if you want today. Okay, so we're gonna do our regular clamshells right here. So left elbow under your left shoulder. Your left ribs must stay lifted. So really important you don't just do that. Left ribs must stay up. And if you feel that you're just doing this, I would just come down. All right? Okay, heels under your bum. You're just gonna go straight up with your right knee. Hold when you're up there so your hips stay totally stacked. Those left ribs stay lifted, right? And then slowly lower to a hover. So get up to your highest point, pause, and then slow and control back down. So let's lift. Keeping your neck nice and long. If you feel tension in your neck, looking down is a nice way to let go of that. Remembering that when you lift your leg, your hip should not move at all. Your leg lifts, but your hip is staying still. That's your low abs and your glutes stabilizing as you're working that glute knee, that side glute. Slow and control down. Go for 5 more like that. Get up to that high point. Keep it working as you come down. And 4. Control. Good job, guys. 3. Watch those left ribs. Are they still lifting? And down. Ready? 1 more. You're going to lift up. Stay when you're up there. So keep those waistlines long. You're going to extend that leg out. Bend it in. And then lower back down. So back, same thing. Clamshell up. Extend it out. Bend it in. And down. Constant pressure through your left elbow to keep yourself nice and lifted. And down. Go 6 more. Up. Reach. In. Doesn't matter if you don't extend your leg completely. Whatever feels good. Reach. In. And down. Good for 4. Up. Reach. In. And down. 3 more. Up. Reach. In. Very good, everybody. Last 2. Up. Reach. In. And down. And then 1 more. Let's go up. Reach. In. And down. And then stay right there. From here, you're going to come up into a little side plank. So lift those hips up. Reach that arm up to the ceiling. So now you're really lifting up that away. And then you're going to lower down just to a hover. So come up again, up with a little lift. And then inhale as you come down. So really picking up that left waistline and down. For 6, up, control, exhale 5, up, control, exhale 4, and down. 3 more, pressing through that left elbow, down. Last 2. Control, last 1, let's go up, holding there. Now just lower your right arm in front of you. And then lift back up. Lower that arm and reach. Go 6, down and up. 5 more. Remember, looking down, you can let go of any pressure in your neck. Constant pressure through your left elbow to keep that left lat and serratus engaged. Last 2 and up. Last 1 and up, and then lower all the way. You're gonna come all the way down to your side lying position now. All right. So left arm can be straight, can be bent if you want. Left ribs are a little bit lifted off the mat. Your waistlines are both super nice and long. Right hand can be in front of you. You just don't want to put all your weight into it. Just have like a little bit of weight down, and then really reach through your toes. You're gonna think length more than height as you lift your legs. So lift both legs, actually, just a small little lift. So if you go too high with your lift, your left ribs are gonna press down, right? We don't wanna do that, so don't think that higher is better. We're really thinking about reaching our toes away from the top of our head. Now lower your legs to a hover, and then go back up. Lower to a hover, and then let's go back up. So inhale down, think of lowering like 3, 2, 1, lifting back up, 3, 2, 1. Nice and slow. If you're feeling steady, try to put your right hand on your hip. You can even reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Whatever feels good. Remember, stability is the most important thing. So when you reach your arm up to the ceiling, you're pressing your left ribs down to the ground to stabilize. That's not what you want to be doing. I would bring your head back down so you can keep your left ribs lifting. Keep that head nice and heavy so your neck stays relaxed. 2 more like that, nice and slow lifting, slow as you lower. And then one more, nice and slow lift and stay. Now scissor your legs. So your bottom leg comes forward 2 inches, top leg comes back 2 inches, hold, and then scissor back the opposite way. So as you're scissoring, keep your body as still as you can. Keep those left ribs that little bit lifted. Keep those waistlines nice and long, little scissor, and scissor, and scissor. Don't let those legs drop, but 2 more each way. And scissor, let them drop. And finish with your left leg, your bottom leg forward, top leg back. Now lift both legs 1 inch, hold 1 inch down. As you lift your legs that extra inch, you should feel a little bit extra obliques, right obliques, a little bit extra left inner thigh. Slow, come down. Keep reaching for 6, reach through those toes, and down. Keep reaching through those toes for 5, and control, go for 4. And down, last 3, little lift, and down, last 2, little lift, and down, last 1, little lift up, holding when you're there, legs together, and then lower all the way down, the arm come down. Good job, guys. All right, let's flip right on over, we'll do the same on the other side. All right. So again, you can be here, you can also be here, doesn't matter at all, even if we're up on one side, you can be down on the other side. Right elbow under your right shoulder, right ribs are staying that little bit lifted so everything's nice and lined up, heels under your bum, and then just lift right up. So as you lift up, your left hip doesn't roll back, right? Slow as you lower back down. So get to that high point, up, pause, and then slow and control back down. Keeping those ribs lifted, keeping your neck nice and long, whether you're looking down or in front, doesn't matter. Get up to that high point, little squeeze, and control, little squeeze up, and control, go for 4. Control, and 3, squeeze, control, last 2. You ready? 1 more, let's go up, stay, extend that leg, bend it in, and then lower back down. And then do that again, so up to that clamshell, extend it out, down, and down. Doesn't matter if you can extend your leg completely or not, or how high you go, in and down. Just about keeping that turn out as you reach. Go for 5, up, reach, in, and down. 4 more, up, reach, in, guys, 3, up, reach, in, right rib stay lifting, last 2, reach, in, and down. 1 more, up, reach, in, and down, and then stay down. Now you're gonna press into your right forearm there, lift your hips up, so hold when you're there, you can reach your arm up, that feels good. Really thinking length from the top of your head down to your tailbone, and then control as you lower back down, and then lift straight back up. So really picking up your right waistline, slow and control back down. Looking down again if you feel your neck. Got 5, up. Control, and 4, working as you lift, still working as you lower. And down, last 3. Feeling your right obliques picking you up. 2. And then go 1 more lift up. Stay there. Lower that arm. Reach it up. Inhale down and up. Keep reaching the top of your head from those knees and your tailbone. 4, 3, and up. Last 2. Don't let that right waistline drop. Last 1, up, and then lower all the way down. Come right down onto your right arm there. Straighten your legs out. So really reaching toes away from the top of your head. Your right ribs are still lifting that little bit away from the mat, right? Okay, so squeezing your legs together, they're gonna move as one piece. You're just gonna lift them both up and then stay there. All right, so remember you can bring your left hand on your hip if you feel steady. You can reach your arm up to the ceiling. The key thing is that you're not just jamming your right ribs down to keep yourself steady, right? You wanna keep your waistlines long and lifted. So slowly lower both legs to a hover and then nice and controlled lifting up. So remember thinking about those 3 counts, nice and slow as you lower, nice and slow as you lift. Inhaling down, exhale, lift. Control, that's your right inner thigh, lifting your left leg here. Go 4 more, control and control. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Let's lift up. Stay when you're up there. Now scissor your legs, bring bottom leg forward, top back. Hold, and then switch. So it doesn't matter how high they are. Try to keep them a little bit lifted. It definitely doesn't matter how big your scissors are, just have it really control the movement. A few inches apart and back. You go too wide, your hips are gonna wiggle all around. Keep them lifting as you scissor for 3 and back. Let's go for 2. Head is heavy on that right arm. Back. Last 1. And switch bottom leg forward, top back. So bottom leg stays forward. Now lift up an inch and down an inch, just a little. Up an inch, have a pause, and then lower that little inch. 1 inch, pause, down. Let's go for 5, little lift. And down 4, little lift. And down 3. And down last 2. And down last 1, let's lift up. Legs together, and then lower all the way down. Good job, guys. Okay, come onto your backs, give your feet, bring your feet, the soles of your feet together and let your legs just open out. For a little inner thigh stretch out there. Take a nice couple of breaths there. Still neutral, still with the back of your rib cage nice and heavy. That nice long spine, the top of your head still reaching away from your tailbone. Ribs are still hugging around your center, just letting your legs be heavy down to either side. Take 1 more nice big breath here. And then keep your legs as they are. Just bring your hands behind your head. Okay, so head is heavy on your hands, your elbows are wide. Tuck your chin a little bit and then curl up to flexion. So when you're up here, you can see your pelvis is neutral, your rib cage has moved right down towards the top of your hip bones, and then slowly let's bounce back down. Do that again. So tuck your chin a little bit, exhale up. Easy to roll your pelvis away in this position. Don't let that happen. Controlling down. 2 more like this. Tuck that little bit, curl up. Slowly lengthen back. 1 more, tuck your chin, exhale, curl up, and then stay. Now from here, feel your abs deepen a little bit as you bring your legs back towards one another. And then open back out. So feeling your transverse widen as your legs open out, they're moving in the same way, same direction. Your transverse widens, legs open out. Go for 3. Go for 2. Keep curling forward. 1 more, legs up. Stay there, plant those feet. Now from here, you're gonna pop your right leg up to tabletop, curl up an extra inch, right leg down, upper body can come back an inch. Lefty up, curl up an extra inch, slow and controlled as you come back. Let's go right again. And down, and then left. And down, right again. Exhale, keeping that weight as even as you can on your hips. Feel your belly button pulling into your spine, left. And down, and then lower your upper body all the way down. Take a breath. So we're gonna add a little rotation to this today. So we're gonna lift a leg and rotate the opposite way. As we do that, if you feel your hips are moving, I would bring your foot down and just do the same movement with both legs down so you can really concentrate on your hips staying still. That's the huge part of the rotation. It's not just about your ribs and your upper body, all right? So tuck your chin a little bit, curl up to flexion and stay there. Now lift up your right heel and then lift that whole right leg. So we can also, if you want, you can lift your left heel, you can keep your left leg flat, whatever, it doesn't matter. So this is the leg I was talking about. If you feel that you can't keep your pelvis still, bring your right leg back down, all right? So we're gonna rotate towards this right leg. It's really important your left hip stays heavy as you do that. So rotate across and hold. Your right ribs are coming towards the top of your left ribs are coming towards the top of your right hip. And then slow come back through center. So do that again, your left ribs towards the top of your right hip, and then slow come back through center. So think about your left shoulder blade. It comes off the mat a little bit higher as you come into rotation, and then you're coming back through center, still working. You're gonna go 5 more, nice and slow. Control as you come into it, control as you come out of it. You can even pop your right hand on your left hip bone. Really try to keep that left hip bone down. That's a huge part of it. It wants to move as you rotate. 2, and back. Last one, exhale across, come back through center, lower your right, lower your upper body all the way down. Take a breath. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing, other side. Remember, listen to your body. You need to bring both feet down, you need to have your heels down, doesn't matter at all. Your hips are really what I want you to be focusing on today in the rotation. All right, so tuck that chin again, curl up to flexion, holding there. So lift up your left heel, pull that leg up to tabletop. Your right hip is gonna stay heavy. You can lift up your right heel if you want. You're gonna rotate towards this left bent leg, right shoulder blade off the mat, and then come back through center. So left hand on your right hip if you wanna feel that connection, keeping your right hip heavy is really important there. Cross for that little twist, and then back. So you can see my right shoulder blade just barely comes off the mat, right? It's not a huge movement. The key is that you're working as you come into it, and you're working as you come out of it. Don't come into it and flop down. 4 more, work, and still working. There's no break, right? 3. And back. Last 2, little rotation. And back. Last one, across. Come back through center, lower your left, lower your upper body all the way down, and then stay. Awesome. Okay, so feet about hip distance apart. Make sure you can touch your heels with your fingertips. We're gonna press into a little hip lift there. So hips up nice and high. Take a breath when you're up there. Knees are reaching away from the top of your head. If anyone wants to, you can grab weights and reach your arms up to the ceiling. That is fine, you don't have to at all. You can keep your arms down. If your arms are up, let's make sure our shoulder blades are pressing into the mat. All right, now from here, press into your left heel a little more than your right. So really feel this connection. Left heel presses down. You should feel your left glute engage when you do that. Now lift up your right heel. So way more weight in your left than your right. We're gonna bring all of it out of your right, sorry. So press through your left, lift that right up to tabletop, and then stay. So if that doesn't feel good for you, keep your right foot down. That's totally fine. You can just keep your heel lifted for the same effect. All right, you can also bring your arms down. That provides a lot more stability. So from here, you're gonna drop both hips together, lower, and lift. Inhale as you come down. Exhale as you press through that left heel to lift. So it doesn't matter what your range is. I want you to keep your hips nice and level. Keep those waistlines nice and long. 3 more like this. For these last couple, think about your left inner thigh. Is it squeezing toward your midline? It should be. 1 more, lift up. Stay when you're there, lower your right toes down, toe, ball, heel. Roll all the way down to the mat, take a breath. And then come back up, same thing, belly button to spine, press through your heels, rolling up, holding there. Okay, so now extra press through your right heel. You should feel your right glute engage. Lift your left heel up. You can stay there or lift that thigh all the way up. Now from here, lower those hips together and press. Inhale down, even weight on your shoulders. It's not easy, is it? Keep that right shoulder nice and heavy. Collarbones stay wide. Ribs stay tight around your center. Right inner thigh is still squeezing toward your midline, right? 2. Last 1. Press right on up. Holding there, lower those left toes down, all the way, heel, roll back to the mat, come all the way down, and then give those knees a little hug. Have a roll around one way, and the other. All right, and then let's come all the way up. We're gonna come to a 4-point kneel. We're gonna do our swim prep here, and then we're gonna do our swimming like we did last week on our tummies. So, same kind of principles for both. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. You're neutral here, so your waistline is long, your ribs are tight around your center. If you're tucking, you're not working the same way, so really think about keeping everything nice and long and neutral. All right? Tiniest little bend in your elbow so you're not locking. Let's start with our right leg. So we're gonna kick it straight out. Keep your toes on the mat. And just feel, as you kick your right leg out, does your weight shift to the left? You want to try and avoid that. So keep your left inner thigh squeezing toward your midline. Give an extra little press into your left knee to engage your left outer glute. And then, if you feel steady, lift your right leg up. Got it? Okay, so now from here, let's extend our left arm in front. So left fingertips reach from right toes. Your left side body is very active, so you're pressing your left knee through the mat the whole time. Slowly drop fingers and toes, and then lift back up. Inhale as you lower, and exhale as you lift. So this could be like super, super mindless. You could do this probably till the cows come home. But are you really reaching and finding length and staying lined up? That is the key, is your left knee staying under that left hip. Your left inner thigh is constantly squeezing toward your midline. You're working as you lower, and you're working as you lift. You've got 4 more. And up. 3. And lift with a reach. Last 2. Back stays nice and strong. Last 1, let's lift up. Bring that hand in, bring that leg in, sit back to a shell stretch. Give those wrists a little shake out. Okay. Those wrists shake, guys. When you're ready, let's do the same thing, other side. So hands back under your shoulders, knees under your hips. You're neutral, hip bones are square to the ground, your ribs are tight around your center, right? Nice wide sitting bones, even weight on those hands. Kick your left leg out. Before you lift it, press into your right knee. Feel your right inner thigh, squeeze toward your midline, and then lift your left. So really reaching toes away from the top of your head, and then extend that right arm. So thinking length, tap, and lift. Inhale as you come down, and exhale as you lift. So keep those ribs nice and tight around your center as you lower. Keep them tight around your center as you lift. If you just want to concentrate on the leg or the arm, that is absolutely fine as well. Keep lengthening for 4. 3, control. Last 2, control. And 1 more. Let's up, bring that leg in, bring that arm in, sit back to that shell stretch again, giving your wrists a little shake. Okay, guys. When you're ready, we'll come on to our tummies. So we're gonna start with our extension with our arms down, and then we're gonna move into that little swimming extension. So start with your hands as wide as the mat, legs as wide as the mat as well. Your nose just hovers off the mat. You can have your elbows bent for the first bit here. All right, so nose hovers off the mat. Feel the top of your head reaching away from your toes. Remember, in extension and Pilates, it's about length, not height. So to start the extension, think about your abs deepening a little bit, your ribs tighten up around your center, and then begin reaching, even before you're lifting, begin reaching the top of your head out over your mat. So like you're lengthening your spine, as if someone was pulling your head away from your toes. Feel that length, and then begin extending up a little bit. So extending back through your cervical spine, extending back through your thoracic, just slightly reaching your collarbones forward, and stay. So hold when you're at your high point, doesn't matter where that is, and just notice, are you dropping into your low back? That means you're extending through your low back, or are you just engaged through your core and extending just through your upper spine, so through your thoracic and your cervical. Let's stay like that, and then slowly melt back down. Come all the way down, nose covers off the mat, and then do that again. So abs deepen, ribs are tightening up around your center, your back is staying nice and strong. Begin reaching the top of your head away from your toes, and keep reaching your collarbones forward. Take a breath, and then slowly come back down. Let that nose just hover. Let's do that again. So abs deepen that little bit, ribs are tight around your center, reach the top of your head out towards me, reach those collarbones forward. Think about that length through your spine, way more than height. At the top of that extension, can you reach your collarbones out a little bit more? Reach them forward. And then slow and controlled, you'll melt all the way down. One more like that. Abs, ribs tighten up around your center, shoulders away from your ears as you begin to lengthen. Keep reaching. Feel those toes reaching away from the top of your head. Nice deep breath, collarbones reach forward a little more, and then slowly come all the way down. And then press back to a little shell stretch. We're gonna do one more. We're gonna add the swimming with your legs and your arms together. So again, if you feel your low back when you're doing this, either come down, like you can just be hovering off the mat. It doesn't need to be big. Or just concentrate on the arms or the legs. Do one or the other. Maybe do legs because we've just been doing upper body, but whatever feels good for you. So start with your arms reaching out overhead. So now your arms are pretty straight, longer lever, so it's way harder, right? So your nose covers off the mat. We're not going to come as high as we did in that last extension. We're just going to think about that little lift with a length. So begin with your nose, lengthen, reach the top of your head, away from your toes, and then hold. So your hands are still down, your feet are still down. Your eyes are looking down as well. Now can you lift your right leg just a couple of inches? And then lift your left leg a couple of inches. So stay right here. So totally fine to stay like this and not add the arms. We're going to try arms if you want. You can lift up your right arm just an inch or two. Lift your left arm an inch or two. Stay there. Keep length through your spine. Now, can you lower your right arm and your left leg? Left arm and right leg lift, and then switch. So tiny little strokes as you're keeping your body still. So your weight doesn't shift from right to left in your body. You're keeping length through your spine. Again, you can keep your arms down and just focus on the legs if that feels good for you. Keep that neck long. Keep that pelvis nice and still. You're lifting one thigh, one arm, and then switching. Really feel it's your thigh and your upper arm. Let's go for 2 more each way. Last one. And down, and then lower all the way. Sit back to a shelf stretch. Kill. Let's come back up to a 4-point kneel. So hands back under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Let's do a little cat-cow, just to get some more movement through our spine here. So start with your tail, drop it down, scoop through your low abs, through your mid abs, upper abs. Let that head be heavy. Take a nice deep breath and then roll back the opposite way. So starting with your head, head comes back through to neutral, shoulders away from your ears, roll through your mid back. Low back, you'll come to that little cow. And then do that again, drop that tail, scooping around. And then all the way back out. One more like that, dropping that tail scoop. Really feel that spine picking up towards the ceiling when you're in that cat stretch. And then bounce all the way back. And then come to a nice flat back position. So somewhere between those two extremes there. Let's kick our right leg straight out behind us. When you kick your right leg out, your weight automatically wants to shift left, right? Keep that weight nice and even in your hands. Keep your left knee pressing into the mat and then lift your right leg up. So just like we did for our swing prep. So this time you are just going to bend your knee in and then you're going to kick it all the way back. So do that again, slow as you bend in and then extend right back. So if you want an extra little challenge, bring your left hand up off the mat, reach long, go in for 5, barely tapping down and then extend. Go for 4, nice and controlled, and reach. 3 more, control, reach long. Last 2, and back. 1 more like this, in, reach back. Stay there, you're gonna pop your left elbow down. No, most of your weight's on your left elbow, yep. And then you're gonna laterally rotate this right leg. So turn it out to the side a little bit. Think about your left inner thigh squeezing toward your midline. Most of your weight's on your left elbow. Now tap those toes back down to the mat and then lift all the way back up. So a nice straight leg as you lower. Keep that leg nice and straight as you lift. So think about that right hip. It wants to come down with your leg. You're not gonna let your head be heavy. So you're looking down towards your left wrist. Lower with control and lift. So each time I lift my right leg, I'm pressing into my left knee, even my left shin, to keep that left side nice and engaged. Get up nice and high for 4. Constant pressure through that left elbow, so you're staying strong. 3. Lift. Last 2. Do you guys feel your left glute as well? If you're keeping that pressure through your left knee, you should feel that. Last one, let's lift up. Stay right there. Now from here, bend your right knee and it's gonna come down towards your right elbow. And then kick it all the way back out. Do that again. Keep your waistlines long. In and reach long. Still pressing into your left knee, right? 5 more like that. Slow in. Keep those waistlines long, reach. 4, slow in, keep those hips nice and lifted. Don't let your tail tuck. in. Especially that right waistline, right? It's really easy to go there. Last two. Ready, one more in. Kick it all the way back out, and then bend that leg in. Sit back to a little shell stretch. Right, guys, you ready? Let's do the same thing, other side. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. If this bothers your wrists, you're fine to be down here as well. That's totally fine. Okay, so left leg, we're gonna kick it out without letting our weight shift to the right. Lift her up, stay when you're there. Okay, so thinking length, your toes are reaching away from the top of your head. Your right inner thigh is squeezing toward your midline. You're just gonna bend that knee in, keeping your tail back, and then reach back out. So not letting anything round. We did that. In and reach long. So remember, you can bring your right hand up if you feel nice and steady. If that makes you just wiggle around too much, I would keep it down. Have that as something you're working towards. Keep your waistlines long, keep those sitting bones wide for 3. Press through that right knee as you kick your left 2. Last 1. Kick on out, stay there. Now bring your right elbow down. Right fingertips reach across. Okay, so now really reaching through your toes. You're gonna tap down towards the ground. You can touch if you want and then lift up. So you can go a little higher this time because you're on this angle. Remember, you're looking in towards your right wrist. So your chin is tucked in a little bit. You're lifting that leg, keeping your right inner thigh squeezed toward your midline. Your right inner thigh still squeezes in as you lower. So don't let your weight shift to the right. It wants to do that. Up. Control. Let's go for 4 more. Lifting and lengthening. Control. 3. Press through that right knee as you lift. And down. Last 2. And down. You ready? 1 more. Let's go up. Stay there. Laterally rotate. So turn your left knee to the left side. Bend that left elbow in. And then kick out. So your left knee in towards your left elbow. And then reach. Slow as you come in. Slow as you reach. Got it. So 5 like that. Slow. Press through your right knee as you kick out. 4. Slow. Press through your right and kick. 3. Abs deepen for 2. 1 more. In. Kick all the way out. And then bend that leg in. Sit back again. Shell stretch. Job, guys. So give those wrists a little shake. Come back up to a 4-point kneel. So hands back under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. You're gonna kick your right leg straight out behind you. Kick your left leg straight out as well. So holding that plank, the top of your head is reaching away from your heels. Bum is low, it's not too high. It's just in that nice long line. Now from here, you're gonna drop your right knee down, almost touch the mat. Don't let your hip drop. And then extend back out. Do the same thing left. So knee drops down that little bit. And then reach back up. Do that right again. In. And left. In. And press. Now tuck your chin, scoop those abs, press right back to a downward dog. Hold when you're back there. Feel that tail lifting up to the ceiling. Drop those heels nice and low. And then bend your right knee down, press into your left heel a little more. And then switch. 1 more, let's switch. And then switch. Then drop both heels nice and low. Lift both right up and then come back into that plank. Holding when you're there. Now from here, let's drop both knees. Keep your bum lifting. And then extend, reach out. Slow as you bend in, so knees lower, but your hips don't just come down. You're not just doing that. Your knees lower, but your bum stays up. Yep. And then reach. Keep those abs engaged as you lower and as you lift. You'll kind of find that sweet spot. If you go too low with your knees, your hips will, of course, have to drop. That's what I don't want you to do. One more. Reach. Again, tuck your chin. Press all the way back. Drop those heels nice and low. You're ready? We got one more we're going to do on these wrists. You're welcome to come down to your elbows if you want to. We're going to come back into that plank. You can be in an elbow plank if you want. All right, so now from here, you're going to bring your right knee into your chest and then kick it back out. Left knee into your chest, keep those hips nice and lifted and back out. Now right knee towards your right elbow, so it's coming to this side. And in, left knee to left elbow to this side. And back in. Now right knee to left elbow, so across your body. And back, left knee to right elbow, across your body, keep those hips lifting. Back out, tuck that chin, press all the way back. Walk those feet out again one more time. And then let's lift that left, or lift your right leg straight up to the ceiling, pull it right underneath you, turn it out, and then drop right on down. You'll come into a little stretch there. Just take a nice couple of deep breaths. One more nice breath there. And then walk those hands back in. Breath, curl your left toes under. Step your right foot down. And stay here for a couple of breaths, really reaching out for your left heel. Constant pressure up through your right. And then you pop your left hand down. Go across. We're just going to go for a twist this way. Reach up, so reaching right fingertips away from left fingertips. Nice couple of breaths there. And then step that right hand down. Step your right leg back. Press back to that downward dog. And then let's bring that left leg all the way in. Turn it out to the side and come down to that little cushion there. So again, nice couple of breaths there. You can come down as low as that feels good. One more nice breath. And then hands back under your shoulders, curl those right toes under. Step that left foot down. So hanging there, you can come up if that feels good. Constant pressure through your right heel, reaching back through your left heel, reaching back through your right. And then you can bring your right hand down, reach your left up if that feels good. And then you can pop that left feet down, step your right back again, back to that downward dog. And then drop your heels, walk your hands into your feet, hang in that forward fold. Take a nice couple of breaths there. And then when you're ready, just roll one up. Oh, wow. Finito, guys, nice work.
Awesome job. Nice work, Hillary. See you soon. And
There's one person on there.
how do I end it? And oh my gosh. Don't tell me. And there we go. Bye, Hillary.